Hey Diva, welcome back to my channel, and I know that's right, with Natasha Night. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Natasha Night. Think of me as your favorite unapologetic diva who's here to help you fill your cup of confidence and inspire you to embrace your most authentic self, bask in self-love, and harness that divine feminine energy, honey. So if you haven't already joined the Diva family of confident, unapologetic people who live out loud, please make sure that you do so by subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you get notification every single time I upload a video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. All right, now let's get started with the video. So it is such a beautiful day outside today that I decided I'm going to be on the back patio, back porch, screened in porch, where I'm going to record. So let me just swivel it a little bit for you so you can kind of see what it looks like. All right. And now let's get back to me. So, yeah, this is where I am. It's very tranquil, very calm, very beautiful. And so I have my little wind muff because it's a bit windy. There's a bit of noise outside. It's not too much, but I don't know if it's going to pick it up. So today I decided to change the lipstick color. Did we notice? Well, tonight, did we notice? Yeah. So I decided to try Punk Couture from MAC. It's a purple shade. And kind of goes with the purple theme of my bottle. Mm-mm, not water dripping down the ghetto honey. All right, so today I am going to be doing one of these random pep talk videos where I'm going to talk about what it's like coming to the place of accepting things for, accepting people for who they are and accepting yourself and when you're in the clearing. And so right now I am in the stage of my life where I'm in the clearing, and that's where I've been basically, I think, all of this year. So there's a lot of people that I have in my life that I held very dear to me, that I was very close with, that I have a lot of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful memories that I'm so immensely grateful for. But at the end of the day, I know that where I am now and where I'm choosing to go in life they no longer suit me. We don't suit each other. And so I am grateful, for all of these experiences, but it does mean that I'm now very careful about who I share good news with and who I really have very close to me. And so there's a lot of people that I ended up having to cut off. And one of those people, belonged in my family. And it's my sister Plastic. And I call her Plastic because she's fake. But anyways, so it was really, really hard for me just because I have so many beautiful memories. You know what I mean? I have amazing memories with her where we had fun and we danced and we laughed and we watched shows and all these things. And then, I came the last month of her pregnancy to take care of her from Europe to make sure I took care of her, and I got to see my niece being born and spend time with my niece. And then when I moved back here from my toxic relationship that I was escaping, I went and I moved in with her. And that's when the nightmare kind of started, where I started to learn who she was as a person and the amount of hate and disdain and vitriol that she had for me. And because in my head, she loved me. Like, we all have flaws, right? Like, we all do things that are wrong and stuff. But I didn't realize the level of hate that she had for me until I lived with her. And luckily, her frenemy, who's the godmama of my beautiful niece, ended up living with us. And I loved her at the time. Like, I thought she was so great. And then I started to find out things about her that I was really disgusted with. But I am So grateful for that girl because without her, she wouldn't have shown me who my sister was and that the whole time my sister was my op, you know? Because I think the thing is, it's like when someone has the same blood as you and you're close with them, you normally tend to hold them in a higher light and hold them on a pedestal and have a different like regard for them. And I'm not going to sit here and claim, like, oh my God, I was so perfect and I don't understand how she did all of the fucked up things that she did. No, 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 no. I know for a fact that when I was younger, I was very angry. There's a lot of things that I took out on her, but I know that I always did my best to take care of her and my other sister, Leticia. And I always had an immense love for my sisters because I'm the oldest and they're younger. And so I don't know, in my head, I guess, like I said, it's like when you kind of plan out your life, right? You have this idea that you're going to be close forever with your sisters. You're going to be close forever with your siblings. And so while it was sad and it was something I had to cry and cry and cry about from December of last year up until about, I want to say March, I was like genuinely crying and upset about it. But thanks to therapy, I was able to work through it and understand that a lot of the issues actually don't have anything to do with me. It's not my fault that she took advantage of me. It is my fault in a sense for not setting boundaries, but I'm grateful for her showing me who she is and how much hate and disdain she had for me because it helped me to be able to protect myself and remove myself completely because even though I have an immense love for my nieces and I'm their mom T and I'll always be their mom T even though she no longer allows me to see them, which is completely fine. I'll always have all of the pictures and videos that I took of them for memories. And I truly enjoyed living with them and helping raise them. It was such a beautiful memory. But when you get to the point of the clearing and you understand, like, I had to get rid of a romantic relationship and, a friendship started deteriorating and someone that I was friends with for decades, like, it's like, we still love each other, but I don't know that it's possible for us to really have a close relationship, especially like where she is right now in life. And so I accept that, but I'm always going to love her and I know she loves me. And so, yeah, it was just, I've been going through this like clearing, right? And so I have had to accept people for who they are because for a really long time, I wasn't ready to accept who my sister was. And without my now ex, who I call Miss December, even though it's a man, he's very clearly a man, but he's a bitch. So, anyways, but without Miss December, like I wouldn't have gotten to know who my sister is. Like he was the one that helped me to set boundaries. He didn't like my sister. He found her very controlling. He didn't really want to meet her or her husband just because he was like, there's things that I don't like and it's not normal. And so I thought he was being dramatic because I have my own family situation, right? But once I got to the point where I understood what he was saying and things were like in my face thanks to Plastic's frenemy, it was helpful because I understood why I was being disrespected by my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. I understood why I was being disrespected by my sister's frenemy. I understood why these people around her felt comfortable disrespecting me. And it's because when I came back from Europe, I was a different person. I lost my mom. I was in a very vulnerable state. Like I said, I was definitely very emotionally weak, if I'm being honest, especially considering the really traumatic, abusive relationship that I was in. And so when I came back, I was a lot softer. I was a lot more nurturing. I was not as like bitchy. I wasn't as hard. And sometimes I look back and I'm like, damn, how did you allow this? Like, why weren't you just putting your fucking foot down and being, a bitch like you were? But I think it's because of my love for my sister and the fact that I wanted to respect her and I wanted to do what I had promised her, which is like no matter what, no matter how much even if I can't stand the ground that your husband walks on, I will not disrespect him like how I watched, my mom my father being disrespected in the house. And I'm not saying that there was no reason behind it, but at the end of the day, what my aunts did, I know for a fact they wouldn't have tolerated if my mom did that with their partner. And so, I'm maneuvering life and I'm going through things. And we had made this promise from when we were younger that no matter what, we're not going to do it. And I'm glad that I stuck to it and that I never did it. But there are things that I'm like, nah, you should have just put your fucking foot down. Like, it doesn't matter because certain things are not okay. And so there was a lot of things that were not okay. And it's funny because, like I said, those 4 years that I had with my ex partner was probably some of the worst years of my life. But there was no years that was worse than the 2 years that I spent living with my sister. And finding out that she was my op was probably one of the hardest things for me just because I wasn't ready to accept it. But had I not had the partner that I had, Miss December, where he literally was like, yo, this isn't normal, blah, 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 because he was super close with his sisters. And he's like, I like Leticia. She's super cute. She's thinking, but he's like, the other one is like, if there's something wrong, like, I'm telling you, it's not normal. And then when I look back at it, I'm like, there were clear signs that she was a liar, that she's manipulative, that she's vindictive, that she's evil. And I sat there and I allowed her to do these horrible things to me. But I am glad that I moved in silence and I protected myself and I left that situation and I never looked back. And sometimes, like, I wish that I never let her manipulate me into leaving so late because I was trying to leave way earlier because I was like, this way will help our relationship and I'll get an apartment and it'll be really close to you so I can come and see my babies. And it's like for her, it was like about how she could use me and stuff. And so, uh, but now being in the clearing where I have worked through the trauma of it, I've worked through the pain of it, and coming to the other side of understanding that the trash will take itself out, honey. And that's a real thing. Like the trash will take itself out. Like things that are no longer for you, God will make abundantly clear. And it's through learning that I'm able to be happy. And though there was sadness, I'm not going to say before there wasn't sadness. There was so much sadness, but there's beauty in the sadness because everything happens for a reason. And that's something that I truly believe. I don't care how fucked up. I know that what I dealt with my ex, like the one monster that I was with, I know that that was my karma for things that I had done in the past. So that's why I don't take it as, oh my God, I'm a victim. Even with the situation with plastic, I'm not a victim. Like, I went from victim to survivor to thriver. And now I'm at a point where I'm thriving and things are clearing and the pathways opening for the things it is that I need that serve me and where I'm going in life. And I'm happy because everybody that I'm going to be sharing good news with is going to be present and it's the right people. It's not people that secretly hate me. And it's not people that are jealous of me. It's not people that are envious of me. It's not people that have not worked through their trauma and resentment. It's like people that genuinely love me, genuinely care about me, genuinely want the best for me. And I feel the exact same way. We're each other's cheerleaders, hype women, like whatever. And that's what makes me emotional because it makes me so happy to know that just because someone is blood or like you've known someone for a really long time doesn't necessarily mean that they're for you. Like some people are there for a reason, some people are there for a season. And I truly, truly believe that everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson or both. And I have to say that the lesson of living with my horrendous sibling who beyond betrayed me and beyond did really evil things, which I will divulge at some point because I'm going to have the video that says, like, finding out my sister was my aunt, but that's going to be several parts because I'm going to have to, like, dive into so many parts so that you guys can be like, because it's wild. It's some wild drama. She brought the most drama. She brought the most toxicity. Like, literally, it's funny. I was telling everybody, including my therapist, by the time that I moved out, which was April 1st. And I remember telling her, I said, I would take living 4 more years with my ex that I lived with for 3.5 years over the 2 years that I lived with her. Because though there was beauty in the time with my nieces, I enjoyed every second, every millisecond with those girls. Like every millisecond, they're so beautiful. And I get to look at videos of them. Oh, I'm gonna cry because the love I have for those girls is immense. But what I love is that my phone comes up with memories. Um, with the girls, and it randomly puts pictures and videos together of them, and I get to enjoy them. And I know I'm not going to see them anytime soon, and that's fine. Like, I'm completely fine with it. I have made peace with the fact that I cannot be around someone as evil as plastic. But, and I pray for those girls. I pray for those girls every day. But I am so grateful to have spent all the time that I did. I spent 2 years with my sweetness, which is the first board, and the second board is my sugar dumpling. And I got to spend almost a year with her, and it was beautiful. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect to cry, but obviously, when I think about the girls, of course, I'm going to cry because they are who I love, who I still have love for. And I'm always going to have love and care for them. And so I wish them nothing but the best. And I pray for them every day. And I'm so grateful to have been a mopti to them because I've essentially raised 4 children. And two of them I'm still like deeply in contact with, my niece and my nephew. But my other two nieces, I do not have the privilege of seeing because of how tumultuous and, you know, toxically estranged my relationship is with plastic. But my point about the clearing is like when God starts clearing the way for you and clearing things out of your life that you thought you were gonna have forever, you wanna get upset, you know? You wanna get upset, you wanna argue, you wanna say this isn't right, oh my gosh, do you hate me? But really he loves you because he is allowing you to see the people for who they are. Like when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. And it's like now having all of the people that have genuine love for me around me, it's like a weight is lifted off my shoulder. I feel so much lighter. And I don't feel this like thick cloud of negative energy. And it's such a beautiful thing. And so my point is everything happens for a reason. And so it's important in life that you get through it and that you understand that how people treat you is a reflection of them, it has nothing to do with you. You are responsible for your actions. You're responsible for how you behave towards people. You're responsible for how you act and how you react. And not everything deserves a reaction. And sometimes it's important to just protect yourself and leave with your head held high and be like, listen, I'm glad I don't have anything to do with what you got going on. Because one thing I know, karma is a what? It's a bitch. It's a bigger bitch than plastic. So I know, like I know, and I think that's the thing that gives me peace. It was the same with my ex monster. Like I wasn't stressed leaving because I'm like karma, like especially when you know you're doing something, it's different if like you don't have a clue. But when you are like very calculated and very malicious, and again, I want to make it clear, I'm pretty sure that Plastic probably has antisocial personality disorder just like my ex because she bears far too many similarities to him. But regardless, because it's not a narcissistic thing. Like narcissist is very different. This is definitely a mental disorder, mental health. But all right, so this was the part where I realized that the mic had actually cut off, but I was just saying that at the end of the day, even though there's lack of empathy and remorse and they're very evil because of the antisocial personality disorder, I am only responsible for myself and how I move forward. And at the end of the day, I trust God's plan because what is for you, no matter how much you want to control things. God is the one in the front seat. And even though you want to change certain things and you want things to go a certain way, you just have to understand that it's okay and to just, take a deep breath because everything is going to be all right. And I was just saying I'm really, really happy with where my life is now. I can breathe. I feel grounded. And yeah. And I basically went on to say that we're in this journey together. You got your girl by your side. Then I proceeded to wipe some of my snot before I started my absolute favorite phrase, which is, remember, divas, loving yourself is your first secret to happiness, so be your own reason to smile. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.